Welcome to the Wonder With Me podcast, where I, Dr. Tonia Winchester, invite you to get curious with me about all things mind-body healing, especially how we can unlock the incredible healing power of our unconscious minds, so that we can all get out of stress mode and go back into healing mode. We'll talk about how you can easily create healthy, sustainable self-care habits so that you can calm your mind, sleep deeply, wake rested, and enjoy happy, energized days. Ultimately, so that you can make a bigger difference in your well-being and that of your family and the world around you. These casual chats are for educational purposes only and don't constitute a therapeutic relationship. With all that said, let's get this episode underway. Come wonder with me. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. This is episode 27, The Doors to Me. And I am your hostess, Dr. and/or Coach Tonia Winchester. This episode is one that I hope brings some clarity because I am wondering if people are wondering about all of the different things that I do, because I've recently put it all onto one webpage as a bit of a hub so people can go there and click to where they want to go. Obviously, that's how websites work. Brilliant. But as I was putting this all together, I was becoming aware that I know a lot of things that are helpful and I do a lot of things that are helpful. So I wanted to create a little bit of a guide, a little bit of an orientation to help people determine which door they should open should they choose to embark on some sort of healing or transformation journey with me. So that's what this episode is all about. It's an exploratory episode, like you're walking down a hallway and there's all these doors. And each door that you can choose to open leads to some room wherein I have something to offer that can be helpful in your healing and in your transformation journey. So we can think of it like a game show, like what's behind door number one? Okay, so I am, as you may know from listening or from some of my other content, a naturopathic doctor. I've been licensed in British Columbia, Canada to practice naturopathic medicine since 2007 when I graduated from naturopathic college. I love naturopathic medicine. Naturopathic medicine is my fuel. It is my life philosophy. It is my raison d'être, if you will, my reason for being, because of the core philosophies that exist within naturopathic medicine. And those core philosophies are, first, do no harm. Yes, naturopathic doctors also take a Hippocratic oath. Get to the root cause of illness. Treat the whole person as an individual. Work with the healing power within. Stimulate the healing power within. In naturopathic medicine, we call this the V Medicatrix Naturae. And lastly, to teach the principles of healthy living and preventative medicine. These principles guide my choices in my day-to-day life, how I interact with people, and how I want to help. Now, part of my origin story into becoming a mind-body healing coach is that I was finding naturopathic medicine is a lifestyle medicine. If you go to a naturopathic doctor or if you've been to a naturopathic doctor, you know that you're gonna likely have to change some habits. Maybe get to bed at a different time, maybe eat more vegetables, maybe drink more water, maybe get more activity or less activity or more rest, set boundaries in relationships, etc. And sometimes what I've discovered is that changing our habits is hard. Often it's hard, actually. And I'm not standing preaching from a mountaintop. Like, I am in the weeds and reeds with you. I know how effing hard it is to change habits. And something that I've discovered along the way is that sometimes, often, more commonly than we would like to admit, there's a root cause that is preventing us from changing the habits that we know will make our health and our lives better. And those root causes often are a belief system or a belief structure, a group of beliefs that we made up at one point in our lives, something to the extent of, I'm not valuable, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And that may be a hard pill to swallow if you're listening to me for the first time. Stick with me, I'm going to explain what I mean.
In the last 2 or 3 years, I have become enamored with the body of knowledge called Neurolinguistic programming, NLP. Essentially, how we can wire our minds for success in any area of our life. My focus, of course, is health and well-being. Our unconscious mind is the tool that we need to access and leverage to heal, to change our habits, and to learn new things. And this is why it's hard when we think, okay, I'm going to create a new habit. I'm going to go to the gym every day. And so that on day 1, you get up and you go to the gym. And then on day 2, you get up and you go to the gym. And then on day 3, something comes up and you just don't go. And then you don't go ever again. I mean, we've all been there to some degree. That gym example is something that can be applied to any habit example. Because we're trying, and the reason this doesn't work is because we're trying to change from the conscious mind. But we actually have to change the terrain in the unconscious mind so that the habits become really easy. And when I blend these two ideas, naturopathic medicine and neurolinguistic programming, when I use the tools of neurolinguistic programming and apply them to the philosophies of naturopathic medicine, I'm able to extract that root cause where someone might unconsciously believe that they're not worthy, valuable, or deserving enough to take care of themselves in a way that will improve their well-being. And I speak from personal experience. I have many podcasts where I talk about my own personal health journey with insomnia, with burnout, with weight release. And I see this in my clients. My clients, when I say the word client, I refer to people who are mind, body, healing, coaching clients. So they've gone through a process called a breakthrough with me, where we spend 3 months together removing these faulty belief systems, removing traumas, removing significant emotional events out of the unconscious neurology, and putting in things like joy and peace, comfort, confidence, energy. And I know I speak about this in a way that seems really simple. It actually is that straightforward. So within a couple hours, I can remove from someone's unconscious neurology 5 to 8 different negative, unresolved emotions. Within a couple hours, I can clear the somatic experience of unresolved traumas and significant emotional events. Within a couple hours, I can help someone to literally deprogram those faulty and unhelpful beliefs and build in ones that are really supportive and really self-affirming. So that's the foundation. Here's how this all plays out if you're someone who wants to work with me, and I love that idea. There's 3 areas where I can help. There's content like this that I offer to anyone who wants to engage with it, because I just sometimes need to get ideas out of my body and out of my head and out into the world. And so I offer these to you free of charge. There's podcasts. I've been featured on dozens of other podcasts. That's all collated on my website. And then there's my book, Breakthrough the Insomnia Cycle, which is really a more in-depth version of what I just described in terms of this marriage of naturopathic medicine and neurolinguistic programming, and how you can start your own personal journey to become really aware of what might be underlying things like insomnia, burnout, stress, anxiety, irritability for you. When you buy the book on my website, it comes with an audio version of the book and some helpful bonuses that will keep you on track, including the companion guide. That's a digital version. You can buy a paperback or hardback version on Amazon, but it doesn't come with the Audible, although there is a QR code for you to link back to get some of the other bonuses. Then I have some self-study programs and support systems. So all of the things that I've mentioned so far are things that you can access yourself and go through in your own time at your own pace as a way to start to engage with some of the concepts in terms of how I see the world, and how I will boldly claim that how I see the world is, frankly, something that I think is a really helpful way to see the world. I have 2 bundles of audios at the time of this recording. One is called Deep Sleep. If you go to my website to buy the book, it becomes an option as you're checking out to add it to your cart. Deep Sleep is 4 different audios, 3 that can help you get to sleep at night and stay deeply asleep in a 30-minute, 45-minute, and 60-minute version. And then it also comes with a nap version. So it's about 30 minutes of a hypnosis audio track that invites you to have an afternoon rest and restore energy and focus for the rest of the day. I also have a bundle of audios that are self-guided ways to do things like increase energy in any given moment, tune into your intuition in any given moment, find peace in your body in any given moment. I think there's 6 audios in the audio bundle. That's also available if you buy my book as an option at checkout. These are available as standalone options as well, and they're more expensive when you buy them away from the book. Then there's a couple more programs. One's called The Path to Peace, and the promise of this program is to help you identify and remove the number one cause of anxiety. It's also available through the book page purchasing route at a reduced price, and it has a buy on its own standalone price, which is higher. There's a reward system you might be catching on to when people buy the book, because really I think it is the best starting place. I also have a program called Your Delightful Life, which I created really with the habits of naturopathic medicine in mind, so that it kind of is my curated version of what I would suggest to patients over the years. By the way, none of this can be considered therapeutic advice or a therapeutic relationship. It's all for just educational purposes only. So Your Delightful Life is a way to get exposed to some of the healthy habits that I consider suggesting to people when they're in my patient base. There's a newer workshop that I recorded. I did live for a group and recorded. It's called Shed Shame. And this is strictly using the tools of NLP to get shame out of our bodies. Shame is something that really blocks our well-being in a lot of ways. It prevents us from showing up, from standing up, from having a voice, from expressing ourselves and being our authentic, most potentiated version of ourselves. So all of those things are available to anyone who wants to sort of dive into these ideas a little bit more deeply. And then the deepest version of all of these things, so down the hallway are 2 more doors. The second to last door is naturopathic medicine. And so seeing me as a naturopathic patient, I'm only available to do this for people who are in British Columbia. That's the only province that I'm licensed in. Because I am part of a licensed health profession, I do need to keep these things separate. So I distinctly in my mind have patients in my naturopathic practice. And then I have clients in my mind-body healing practice using the tools of NLP there to get to those root causes of illness and disease, taking them out of the unconscious neurology and putting back in the things that are going to help them be well. So the 2 doors at the end of the hallway are very different. And one is a therapeutic relationship. One, as a naturopathic doctor, I am able to diagnose, I'm able to prescribe certain medications. Typically, I try to do as much as I can with lifestyle changes and modifications. However, the options are there. And frankly, some people of my patients, they just come to see me because they don't want to go see their medical doctor, but they need a prescription renewed. And that's fine too. The final door is the mind, body healing coaching door, which is my favorite door, if I'm going to be honest. It's my favorite door because of how helpfully, accessibly, it allows me to facilitate people getting to the root cause of illness, working with the whole person, stimulating the V medicatrix naturae, that healing power within. Going back into healing mode is the language I often use for that. Doing no harm. I've been in the healing space for a long time, and NLP is the gentlest, safest, kindest, easiest, most effective thing I've come across. One of the cool things about the tools of NLP, when we're doing this work, clearing the past, like I've described, it's content free. I most often don't know what clients are working on. They don't need to tell me their pain story for us to get them out of their pain. This is massive. And that's why the effects can be so fast and so quick, because we're not lingering in the story that they've been rehashing for months, years, decades. So it allows me to first do no harm to get to the root cause, those faulty belief structures that are created out of the traumas that happened to us when we're young. Again, that is my bold claim, which I have substantiated time and time again through my clients and my own personal health journey. It allows me to treat the whole person. It allows me to see them as an individual. It allows me to stimulate their V medicatrix naturae, their healing mode within. and to help them teach the principles of healthy living and preventative medicine. To review, there's the self-study sphere of offerings that is often a combination of these two bodies of knowledge, naturopathic medicine and neurolinguistic programming. There's hundreds of articles and podcasts available for free. And then there's my book, which is the entry-level commitment from a financial perspective. There are self-study programs. There are audio programs to help you access some of the tools of NLP on your own. And then we have the one-on-one work, naturopathic medicine for people in British Columbia who are looking for some lifestyle advice and maybe some natural remedies. And then there's mind-body healing coaching for the folks that are really ready to commit to clearing out the root cause of why they're unwell, why they can't change their habits, why they're unhappy, why they're fatigued, burnt out, not sleeping. Naturopathic medicine, those are patients. Mind-body healing coaching, those are clients. Those are the doors to me. And I love that you're here listening to this, learning about what your options are, exploring the ways that some of these ideas could help you. If you have questions about anything, please do reach out. I am very easily accessible anywhere. You can hop over to my website, toniawinchester.com. There's a little chat bot in the bottom corner. You can just reach out that way. Social media, of course, at Coach Tonia, pretty much everywhere. If you're someone who is ready to be a different version of yourself, one that is self-loving and self-caring and self-accepting, I will highly suggest the final door at the end of the hallway. And if you need to take a couple stops, maybe at the book door, maybe at one of the audio bundle doors on your way there, that is perfect because it helps prime you for everything that you're going to experience and have access to in the bigger ticket coaching program. Before I wrap up, I will mention that recently I have made an entry-level mind-body healing session available. So previously, until this point, I would only offer people the 3-month coaching program, which I still think is the cat's meow when it comes to this mind-body healing work. And I do recognize that times are hard. Times are challenging, and some people aren't ready financially, energetically, time-wise to commit to that type of thing. So I have a 2-hour session now called Lift, where we'll spend about 20 to 30 minutes talking about what your concern is, and I'll be asking you a whole bunch of questions that will help us communicate directly with the unconscious mind. I'll ask you questions that you've never been asked before. We're going to get to a root cause belief, and we're going to be able to clear that belief in that 2-hour session through a number of different NLP techniques. And that's called Lift, and it's available on my website. Now, all of this stuff, all of these items, all of these doors that I've talked about are available on a site called coach.toniawinchester.com/work-together. I will, of course, have that linked in the show notes because that is long to remember especially if you're driving or if you're, doing the dishes right now. I get it. So I'll have that linked up so you can go down that hallway, explore as you might, as you will. I'm happy to help in whatever capacity feels right for you. Reach out anytime. I'm so happy that you're here. I appreciate you so much. And with all of that, I will say goodbye for the day, and may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.
Hey, thanks for wondering with me today. If you've got something good out of this, then please forward this episode along to the people who you know could benefit. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're really keen, you leaving us a rating and review helps us to help more people, so thank you in advance for that. If you're wanting more insights about how you can leverage the power of your unconscious mind to go back into healing mode, head on over to toniawinchester.com, where you'll find my book, Breakthrough the Insomnia Cycle, and other helpful ideas. Thanks again, and we'll connect on the next episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. In the meantime, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.